Okay, now right now they're concerned about you. They want to be as far away as they can be, and yet I'm coming closer. So they have to figure that one in. This one is turning, it's too much pressure. I just entered his flight zone. He backs up and moves away. But I think I can work with this. So my second consideration before starting is, do they have sound footing? If the ground is wet or slippery, they're going to bump into each other and they're going to get stressed out. The teaching mode is when they're calm. When they get riled up, they're not going to learn anything. They're running on instinct. They have a tiny brain in which they can make choices, and it is with that part of their brain that we're trying to create a dialogue and give them an option to just reacting. We're trying to teach them to respond to our cues, and or some people would say respond to the feel that we project, which is a little more subtle. So I want to be sure that the footing is sound so they won't slide and hit each other and become upset. The third consideration is, are there too many animals in the pen? When they move, are they going to bump into each other and then get upset? And in this case, clearly, they have plenty of room. So I run through that very quickly before I move into the pen, and when I go in, I'll stick pretty close to the rail and move away from them until I can tell where they are in terms of their fear of me. And pressure is modulated through not only motion, but volume. If I raise myself or raise something up here or turn towards them, I'm increasing the pressure. If I want to take it off of them, I can go down and make myself as small as possible, which would exert the least pressure on them. Right now, they're not bothered, so I know that I can be in this pen and not be inside their flight zone as it exists at this moment. Now, hopefully, their flight zone will shrink, but that takes a little bit of us negotiating. Me putting pressure, they will move, I will pull pressure off, and they'll see, oh, that's what he wanted. He's not chasing me. He's simply asking me to move. And that's what I'll do. I'll move up here and increase my speed and my energy, and she moves off and I stop. I might back up a step. That's all I wanted. Okay, let's try it again. It's a little easier that time. All right, let's move you. Let's move you. These cows are a little bit tamer than I'm used to, so they've been handled a bit. They have a very, so I have to raise my pressure. You see, they're cutting that short. I knew that. They don't want to be near you. Somebody didn't use their mouthwash this morning, so they're not going to come close. So right now, their fear zone is marked by this half circle here. So I have to use a little more energy to get them to move because they're not terribly afraid of me. They've been handled more than a lot of animals I deal with. Look at that, same thing, cutting it short. But they're moving off, and I take all pressure off and let them soak for a minute and see what, relax and say, huh, he's not as bad as he smells. He's a predator, but he doesn't seem to act like one. You all have seen these nature programs, a bunch of deer, antelope out grazing, and lions going right by. They know when they're on the hunt and when they're not. If they're not on the hunt, they're not going to waste the energy avoiding them. These are the same way. It's the same psychology. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to kind of aim at a 45 degree someplace behind that front shoulder, and ask those animals to move. Good. I stop, I drop off, and they stop. I want them to know that that pressure will go away. Pretty soon I'll get a little smoother movement and then make it go a little longer. I'm asking a little more now. Move, move. They say, okay, we'll move, but we don't want to go next to that crowd. You're okay, but I don't know about them. Okay? Now, funny thing about prey animals, their eyes are on both sides of their head. They see two different pictures, and they have to learn on both sides. Any of you who've ridden a horse down a trail knows that it may be okay going one way, but coming back, you might spook. So I've got to teach on the other side. I've got to move them and send them around this way. Come. They say, we're not still going near them. We don't like them. And if you notice, I'm continuing to trail them a little more, dropping my pressure. I'm just kind of trailing. If they slow down too much, I'll step it up. I'll step it up. Step it up. But I want to begin to create a little bit of a bubble here. I don't want to get too close to them, although I could probably with these. But there's a distance there where they're not to enter unless I ask them, and this will become clearer later on, I hope. But we want them to move, so I want to be able to exert pressure from at least this distance. If that becomes a problem, I'll let them soak a second. I'll take a tool, which in this case will be my lariat. Now, you want them, just like you want them to respect your tools, but you don't want them to be afraid of them. This should be inert until I put a certain kind of energy into it. And it's that energy, the quality of the energy that they will respond to. So this allows me to reach out, to do a lot of things and keep myself at a distance. So maybe I'm working towards moving them from the center of the pin. I'd like to be in the center. Of course, they've defined this pin as a half a pin. Come on. See, I have to raise my pressure just a little beyond their resistance, that's all. And when they yield, I drop it. I drop my energy. And that can be expressed through either stopping or backing up or simply turning and walking away or trailing with your energy in kind of a flat expression. If I want to reach out and move one of these a little further, I can always touch them with that, you see, and keep my distance, keep my bubble. And that's pretty important for your safety. You don't want them to get the idea that you have to come right on them, or that you get so close they could kick you or run over you. So this gives me something to flap a little bit. The wilder ones, you don't need this, but when they get used to being handled a bit, you need something to bring them, to cause them to move off. Okay, I'll back off. Change directions again. Move them this way. So I'm not hurting them, and they'll figure that out pretty soon. I am controlling their feet, which is the means to their mind. Their major means of survival is flight. And when I control their flight, I end up controlling their mind to a great extent. And when I control their feet and their body without hurting them, I'm building a bridge of trust and confidence, which will pay off in every contact I have, especially for cow-calf producers who may be with a cow for many years. This will pay off when they're sick or trying to calve and you need to help them, or in many circumstances. So I carry things a little further than people who are trying to just pull calves off and send them to market. Sure, the same body language will move them quietly, but I'm moving from quiet moving to gentling, and that's what I need in my operation.